So we can use the voice, the mystical power of the voice, by vibrating sacred word. We develop that power in the voice. We can use that to change the brainwave, to take care of the frontal lobe, to revitalize the entire body so that the universe may respond to us favorably.
Peace and riches blessings. I am Michael B. Beckwith, the host of Take Back Your Mind. Peace and blessings, and welcome to Take Back Your Mind, where every single week I have an individual or a role solo with the express purpose of assisting people to take back their mind. The mind, as you've heard me say over the years, has been hijacked by the world of phenomena, the world of a sense of separation, which creates tributaries of fear, anxiousness, anxiety, worry, doubt, depression, a lack of hope. However, we're living in the age of agency, where we can take back our mind and begin to have spiritual practices that clear the mind of mental debris and allow us to see more clearly that we're surrounded by a life, a presence, a love, a beauty, an intelligence called by millions of names that's for us and never against us. So welcome to Take Back Your Mind. When we finish with this life question of the week, I'm going to be with my friend and brother, Dr. Joseph Michael Levry. I'm sure it's going to be a great conversation. Now, Lenora asked this. I am an educator, a researcher, an author, musician, a wife, a mom, and a grandmom. I'm at a stage in my life where I have achieved a long list of goals far and above my wildest dreams. And I'm seen as a leader in my field and a go-to person in my field of practice. I have a rich, beautiful life. I love my husband dearly. I cherish my grandchildren. However, I still have goals and benchmarks I'm looking to still accomplish. And I constantly think of what's next. Is that a bad thing? My constant striving seems to make my husband weary. And often my friends and family are urging me to get some rest. And they ask me, when is enough enough? When is it all enough? Lenora? How do I find a settling place so I don't worry the people I love and find a place of peace? This is a great question. First of all, let me applaud you for your accomplishments, for the activation of potential, for one of the greatest sins, and I'm using that with quotes, is the not activating our potential, to leave the world without seeking to activate the potential within us. And it seems as though you're living a life in which you're actually doing that. You're actually activating your potential, which is why we are here. There's a scriptural reference that says that foxes have holes and birds have nests, but there's no place for the son of man and woman to rest their head, meaning that foxes and birds, they can rest, but humanity is always seeking the next state and stage of their unfoldment. There's always more for us to express. And so I think you're in the frequency of always seeking to activate more of yourself. So when you say, is enough enough? The idea is you want to create, manifest from the feeling of enoughness, from the feeling of more than enough, from the feeling of connectedness, not from the feeling of lack, not from the emotional content of lack and limitation. Because if you're creating always from lack and limitation, even when you achieve your goal, you don't feel accomplished. You feel like something's missing. So I often teach that people can fall into three different categories: task-oriented individuals, goal-oriented individuals and purposeful-oriented individuals. There are people who do a lot of tasks, but they're not attached to any larger goal. Then there's people who have larger goals, and of course you need to do tasks in order to complete those goals. And oftentimes when people complete their goals without a higher purpose, they feel kind of incomplete. And then there's purposeful individuals, people who are living for a larger purpose in life. That purpose might be, I like to say, to reflect and to reveal the cosmos according to my unique pattern. My purpose is to be of service to humanity. My purpose is to bring beauty on the planet, to bring encouragement or inspiration. So there's a larger purpose. And then there are goals within that purpose, and then there are tasks that we do. If you feel your worthiness and your enoughness, and you're feeling a deep sense of divine purpose, and you don't have to use the word divine, you can just say a larger purpose for your life, continue to allow goals to emerge in your mind. And the benchmark will be, are you fulfilling your purpose? So there won't be like this restlessness within you. There'll be more of a creative urgency. You're just always on the verge of more creativity. And then that will spill over into your family life. You'll be with your husband. You'll be with your grandchildren, if you have grandchildren. You'll be with your family, not from a sense of, I got to go do something, what's next? But all of that love and creativity will pour forth in your family life. It'll pour forth in moments where you rest and recharge. It won't be anxiousness, I got to go do something. It'll be this moment that I'm resting, it's filled to overflowing with all of my needs are met. And then when that inkling within you to create again comes up, it's not coming from anxiousness or anxiety. It's coming from an overflow, a deep sense of fulfillment. I teach, we want to live from fulfillment, not fulfillment. Many people feel empty, they try to fill it with stuff. That's fulfillment. We want to be fulfilled. And I feel that you're on the verge of that. So it's not settling. It's resting in the evolutionary impulse of you being more you. Can you catch what I'm saying here, Lenora? I hope so. Have a bright and beautiful day. Peace and blessings and welcome back. As I said earlier, we have Dr. Joseph Michael Levry with us this afternoon, this morning, this evening. Whatever time zone your body temple may be in, we're in the present moment together, transcending time and space and allowing this conversation to carry inspired wisdom, transformational knowledge, and creative intelligence and love. We love each other. If you don't know who Dr. Joseph Michael Levry is, he's an internationally renowned scholar, composer, author, and speaker whose universal message brings together the spiritual healing traditions of the East and the West. He seamlessly connects Eastern wisdom, mysticism, and healing practices such as meditation, breathwork, and yoga with revelatory Western science, mathematics, modern medicine, and of course, metaphysics. He's the founder of the Global Gathering for Peace and Healing, as well as the NAM Los Angeles Healing and Research Institute, and CEO of Root Light International. Through his music, lectures, and writings, he has united hearts and changed lives across the world through his unifying message of a deep healing power of unconditional love. That's the greatest power on the planet. Unconditional love, global peace, and of course, service to others. He was commended by CNN Opinion and CNN host Van Jones as a prominent world figure leading the health and wellness movement and working to improve physical and mental health, particularly in the African American community. My brother, welcome.
Thank you so much.
It's always good hanging out with you. we were talking earlier about the time that we first met physically.
Yes.
I think we were flying back from New York.
I know.
I think we were coming back from New York, and you were sitting behind me.
Yes.
And you dropped something in my lap. I don't remember what it was. I don't know if it was a book or some food or it was something. And then we ended up talking all the way to
Yes,
Los Angeles.
I know. It was the most amazing flight. Eh?
Yeah, it was a great connection.
Yeah.
And subsequently, we've been
Yeah.
connected. You've spoken at Agape.
Yes.
We've done some other things together.
Yeah.
And
Actually, you were the most. It was and you were actually instrumental in just welcoming us in Los Angeles and
Oh,
creating
that's
the
right.
platform for us to
right, because you were just starting here,
thrive. Yeah.
and now you're thriving.
Yeah. By your grace.
By the grace of God.
And the grace of the
You know,
divine.
but it's obvious to me.
Yes.
You know, I'm going to get into some questions in a minute. But it's obvious to me that you carry a frequency
Yes.
and a vibration. It's in
Yes.
your voice. It's in
Yes.
your tenor. It's in your
Yes.
timbre. It's in your
Yes.
smile. You know that you know something beyond merely curating the intellectual understanding of something, but you carry a vibration of deep knowing of something that comes from intuition.
Thank you.
And in connection to the
Yeah.
infinite. So I've
Yes.
always appreciated that,
Yeah.
and I can spot people like that because there's a lot of people coming up
Yes.
online teaching things,
That is true.
and they're babies.
Yes.
I love them.
Completely.
You know they're doing great work,
Completely.
but there's a difference between knowing about something and knowing something.
And knowing something.
So I love the babies.
Right on.
We have to help them come along. But you know something.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit just about your personal journey, from what happened with you, for you to be this teacher that you are today. What is a little bit of your backstory?
My personal journey is quite interesting. It's growing up in a family that is extremely spiritual,
Right.
and being exposed to spirituality at a very, very young age.
Mm-hmm.
Spirituality was pretty much my breakfast, my lunch, and my dinner. And then with my mom being very instrumental to moving me in the field of math, physics, and science. Can you imagine? She was the one.
Math, physics,
and science.
Yeah.
Which led me to industrial engineering,
Mm-hmm.
And becoming an engineer. And eventually, my that strong desire of spirituality, that desire to want to make a difference in other people's lives, to just want to be able to share that light that I've been exposed with throughout the years by all those who've touched my life.
Right.
With that spiritual wisdom, that divine spiritual wisdom, that's led me to where I'm at now,
Right.
which is serving
Yes.
and then enjoying just sharing this incredible wisdom that is so needed now. This wisdom of where we can share a divine love, the divine wisdom, a divine truth, which is needed in a society where it becoming more and more hostile
Yes.
and more divided.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true, because I've said over the years, but quite recently, that with all of the polarization
Yes.
that was in the hostility and the
Yeah.
hate, the true revolutionaries are those who love now,
Yes.
because love doesn't seem to be popular.
Yeah.
If you hate, if you're condemning, criticizing, putting people down, that seems to be what's happening on the social media.
Yes.
But if you stand up for love and forgiveness,
Yes.
kindness, compassion,
Yeah.
it goes in cycles. It almost seems like you're weak,
Yes.
but actually, I know you really carry the frequency of unconditional love.
Yes.
That's really the strength.
That is the strength, because there's nothing as powerful as love.
Right.
Because our society now needs loves in order to bring people together.
Right.
Because this platform of everyone just trying to just connect with themselves, because they cannot, that division that's being created by society
Right.
is causing people to miss that connection that they can have with them, their authentic self.
Right.
So we're living in a world where people are becoming more and more artificial. They need that love vibrations to get them back to the source.
Right.
They need that love vibrations for them to be able to express their light.
Right.
They need that love vibrations for them to be able to be authentic.
Right. The thing about it is, I've said frequently that if you have become a hater,
Yes.
then someone else is pulling the strings. You're actually being controlled,
Yes.
because no one's born a hater.
That's true.
No one's born a bigot.
Yeah.
That's learned. That means if you fall into the vibration of hating someone, hate is very strong.
It's very strong.
That means you're not even connected with yourself. You think you are,
Yes.
but somebody else is controlling your
Yes.
your whole thought pattern.
Yes.
And you're hypnotized into thinking you're right. But tell us about NAM, this organization that you created.
Okay. Nam is the divine power. The might, that divine power that is manifested in a sound current. So pretty much it is a configurations, grouping of sacred word that had used, directed and redirected within the human body in order to bring harmony within the body for the purpose of self-healing and for the purpose of reintegration, just integrate the entire body, to bring the mind, body, and spirit in such an alignment so that we can be at peace with ourselves and at peace with our surrounding. Now, we just then took it one step like further, which is what we did with NAM, which is, I'm calling it neuro activating advanced meditations.
Neural activating advanced
meditations.
That's NAM. That's what it stands for.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's like a neuroactivating advanced meditation, which is we are using the power of the sound carrying in order to change the brain waves. Once you change the brain waves of a person, you change the personality. The personality becomes extremely positive.
That's right.
Once the personality becomes positive, then you just effortlessly wipe out anxiety, depression, stress, paranoia, hostile behavior, all of these things that are so destructive to human nature. And that's the beauty of it, just that shift in the brainwave and that shift in bringing harmony between your heart and your brain in such a way that you can start thinking with your heart.
Yeah, thinking with your heart
and then feeling with your head.
Right. Absolutely, that's how it's supposed to be. But it is true. You said something that I want to stay with for a second, because scientifically it's proven that when the brainwave actually changes, the personality does change.
Yes.
I mean, this is, I've taken, obviously I've been doing some advanced meditations for years.
Yes.
But I go to a place where they hook you up with the whole
Yes,
system
yes.
for 7 days. We're in the chamber.
Yes.
It's called BioCybernaut.
Yeah.
And it actually shows
Yeah.
the shift of the brain wave.
Yes.
And then it shows, the coherence around either alpha, theta, or delta, whatever we're working on.
Yes.
And then that stabilizes.
Yes. Yes.
And you change forever.
Yes, you do.
It's not like going and taking something and getting high and
Yes.
then you come down.
Yeah. This is a natural high.
This is you know what I call it? I call it freedom. It's
Yes.
like some people are going to get high.
Yeah.
We're going to get free.
Yes,
from our
yes,
limitation.
yes. This is like the science of freedom. You said it completely right.
Yeah.
Because divine truth is like the ruling force of the universe.
Right.
It gets you there.
Right.
And when you move that brainwave to that frontier where you just merge with that freedom, that's it.
Right.
You experience that truth in your heart.
Right.
You become the manifestation of divine truth.
Right.
And you can feel it.
Right.
Because you know the shift is there, it's with you, and then it's part of you.
Right. This is powerful. Now, I'm looking at this.
Yes.
There was a study in the Journal of Pediatric Oncology
Yes.
demonstrating that certain selections from your Healing Beyond Medicine music series. We did a little research. Reduce pain in children undergoing cancer treatment.
Yes.
So this is that sound vibration you're talking about.
Yes, incredible.
And so they actually did a study
Yes.
and showed that the work you're doing
Yes.
eliminated pain and assisted people in healing.
You know, the joy that comes from what we do, which you're doing so much of it, is to be able to make a difference
Right.
in the lives of others. And this study just kind of scientifically prove that you can actually, do something as good at reducing the pain
Right.
in children who are affected with cancer,
Right.
where they have to go through so much in order to be able to support that.
Right. Right. Right.
And they took a selection of our music,
Mm-hmm.
which I started to use, and it gave them incredible results. and it just came out in a science, like a medical journal.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's what we discovered about you.
Yes.
Let's talk.
You caught it.
Yeah, we got it. We got it. It's the Journal of Pediatric Oncology and Hermatology. That's where it was. That's where the article is. It's all about his wonderful music and how it eliminated or decreased the pain of the children that were going through the cancer experience. Now let's talk a little bit more about the mystical power of the voice and the sound.
Oh gosh,
I mean,
this
is your deal.
Oh, the voice, the human voice. Your voice is your frequency, and frequency is the medicine of your future.
Yes,
Which
absolutely.
this is it. We are now right in the middle of it. Frequency is going to be, it is, and is going to become the medicine.
And that's what other great scientists, Einstein said that, and a number of the great scientists that then borderlined on metaphysics and mysticism and God have all said this.
Yes.
So we're living in that time now.
We're completely living in that time.
Yeah.
And the most, when you were born, you have two gifts. Your breath. As soon as you get the breath, you have the first expression of your voice.
Right.
And which is, you have this powerful tool for survival.
Yeah.
The baby cries when he's looking for love.
Mm-hmm.
Baby cries when he wants attentions. The baby cries when he's seeking protections. So
And
it
food.
is
And food.
in food,
Get
when
that
he wants
breath
to
out.
eat food and everything else. So the voice, the power of the voice is the power of the word.
Mm-hmm.
And the power of the word is the power of vibrations.
Yes.
And you know, metaphysics is the science of vibrations.
Yes.
The power of vibration, the power of life and death.
Yes.
But the power of the word, the power of the God is the power of, that power is the power of freedom.
Yes.
So in the mystical science of Kabbalah, the voice corresponds to what they call Da'at. Da'at is like the invisible sphere on the tree of life, which stands for the tree of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
And that corresponds to alchemy.
Mm-hmm.
No one can ever master the science, actually master the tree of life, unless they master that tree of alchemy, of knowledge. And it is hidden in that, which means the voice being connected to that is the door to God, the gateway to God, to the divine. It's the gateway to the heavens. So there's so much power there. So when you use your voice, you're using the greatest medicine ever given to you at birth.
Yeah.
It is incredible. But we have not learned to develop the full power of our voice, because once you develop the full power of your voice, then all the blockages within your body just start melting away. It's incredible. If you see an example, when a person, the strength of your voice, because the voice is the expression of your spirit.
Yes.
When your spirit is strong, your voice is strong. When your spirit is weak, your voice is weak. When a person is sick, weakened, you can see it in the voice.
Right.
When they're recovering, you know something is happening in the voice. So we can use the voice, the mystical power of the voice, by vibrating sacred word. We develop that power in the voice. We can use that to change the brainwave, to take care of the frontal lobe, to revitalize the entire body, so that the universe may respond to us favorably.
Right. Obviously, we are vibrational beings.
Of course.
We're not flesh and blood.
Yes.
We have a body, but we're not the body. So you use the word frequency.
Yes.
So I like to say from time to time that frequency is our real currency. You know,
That's beautiful.
That's how we move through life with our frequency.
Yeah.
So if we train the voice
Yes.
and train ourselves to what comes out of our mouth,
Yes.
and then obviously using the sacred sounds,
Yeah.
you know, we lift our vibration, increase the cycle of our frequency.
Yes.
Then there's, as you're saying, there's a vibrational alignment with God, with life, with love, with beauty. And we begin to represent that vibrationally. And then beautiful things happen in our life that we didn't even plan for.
I know, it's incredible. then we live in a state of gratefulness.
Yes.
It's amazing to know that the voice can have such power, and because we cannot talk about the voice without talking about speech.
Yes.
And our speech patterns eventually become our thinking patterns, and our thinking patterns will manifest in our body. So thinking pattern become our mental attitude, and the most powerful thing we have is our mental attitude.
Yes.
So by consciously choosing to move, use our voice to move our lips, our tongues in a certain way, we change our thinking patterns.
Yeah.
But it's a conscious choice, it is under our control.
Yeah.
Because when our speech pattern is not of low frequency speech patterns,
Yes.
which you spoke about, speaking in a way as a self-talk that denigrates you,
Right.
denigrates others. If it's a high grade quality speech pattern, in other words, a divine speech pattern will give you divine thinking patterns.
Yes.
And as a result, the entire cells of your body radiate that divinity.
Right.
If there is no place in the body for darkness.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have agency.
Yes.
We're not victimized by circumstances.
Yes.
We have agency over our own voice, our own thinking. And the idea, I guess, is to become more like a laser with it, focused, so that we can actually demonstrate the life we want to live,
Yeah.
which mainly is of service. It's like there are many people in the world who've been hypnotized by the media, materialism, things of that particular nature. So their focus is on gaining of money rather than on having a larger mission.
Yeah, can impact. Yeah.
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 And if they have a mission, you're in the flow of the universe. Yeah.
It is so important to serve. It's you're doing so much of it. And as we move in this beautiful work that we're doing, it culminates in serving others. There's nothing as beautiful as service, because service is the most beautiful expression of love.
Yeah.
Because we're giving.
Yeah.
Love gives.
Yeah. Well, we came to the planet not to take anything.
Yes.
We can't take anything with us. So we came to the planet to give something, to share, to shine, to radiate, to glow, to give. And then the hands of the givers are never empty.
This is so true.
You know.
Those who gives are always taken care of.
Yeah.
When you serve others, the universe serves you.
Absolutely.
But between your birth certificate and your death certificate, you got to develop the art of service.
Right.
So that by the time the death certificate comes, it's glorious.
That's a parenthesis in eternity, as it's
Yes.
called. And what do you think? I mean, we've come through a lockdown. We've come through the rising of AI. And,
Yes,
You know,
yes.
what do you think to be the effects of isolation is having on people?
Oh, isolation is devastating. It's as human beings, we are emotional entities. We thrive on love.
Yeah.
We're born to connect, and we're born to reach out.
Yeah.
We connect either to take care of someone or someone to take care of us.
Yeah.
Now, isolations move you, it interfere with the principle of love,
Yeah.
because love unites.
Yes.
It doesn't isolate.
Yeah.
Of course, there's a difference between being lonely and being alone.
Absolutely. There's not the same thing.
Yes.
Right.
Because you can just be alone and comfortable being alone.
Yeah.
You can be in the middle of a lot of people and still be lonely.
Right.
Because you've not developed the capacity to just drop your barriers and then mingle with other people.
Right.
Which means you don't want to be vulnerable in order to reach out and interact with other people. Now, but although there are so many people in the world dying for starvations, there are so many more people dying for loneliness, for lack of love, for not being cared for. And the isolation has created it has been so intense, it has generated a lot of mental and emotional trauma, because people are isolated and they go against the basic needs of a human nature. As a human, you want to connect. The need of connection is important, and the need to be authentic is important.
Yes.
Now, If you don't have connections, then what happens is it disturbs a trinity that's very important, which is emotionally you become stressed because a lack of connection will cause a person to be stressed.
Right.
And the trinity of emotions, immune system, and the nervous system, very important.
Yes.
When you're lonely, and then you don't have a spirituality, the spiritual community,
Right.
such as agape or a Nam community.
Yeah.
Okay. If you have a community, then it allows you to create a buffer to absorb the stress that may come from being isolated. If you don't have a spiritual community, then being isolated subconsciously, even openly, will generate some emotional stress in a person. As a result, it'll weaken the immune system
Right.
or suppress the immune system.
Right.
And then you see a lot of people being vulnerable. And the nervous system become weak as a result. And the people are vulnerable to autoimmune diseases.
Right.
Or various kind of disorder. These come from isolations.
Yes.
Loneliness. And the rate of suicide, for example.
I was getting ready to ask that same question.
Yeah, because that's isolation.
It's isolation. Yeah.
And
it's up.
No, it's up.
Yeah.
So, and to resolve that, we need connectedness, which is connection. The family members, the parents have to connect with the kids, create that connections, because we're becoming a more and more isolated society because you have everything on the iPhone.
Computer.
Yeah. Digital stores.
Right.
So you're no longer talking to anybody.
Right.
You can just be in a box.
And AI can now mimic your voice.
I know. You're being in a box and you're not connecting. There is no human connection.
Right.
A human connection is vital for human survival.
Right.
A human connection is missing more and more and more because we isolate. People spend the whole time on the iPhone.
Right.
So isolation from all the global event and all the craziness, isolations with the iPhone, isolation with AI. Therefore, the trinity of humankind is threatened, which is our immune system, our nervous system are threatened because there is a connection between your emotion, your nervous system, your immune system, and your nervous system.
Right.
The basis of your life is your glandular system, your nervous system, and your immune, your blood. But the nervous system is connected to your emotions.
Right.
Immune system. So the way when you are stressed emotionally, or whether you go through the sadness, the anxiety, the fear that comes from it, what happens as a result, then you activate the sympathetic nervous system. When you activate your sympathetic nervous system, what happens, it will suppress through inflammatory pathway,
That's right.
chronic stress, which chronic inflammations, it will cause chronic inflammation.
Right.
Through inflammatory pathways, what will happen? It will suppress the immune system or weaken the immune system. What happens as a result? People are vulnerable to autoimmune diseases or all the various kind of mental and health disorders that people are prey to.
Right.
And it is happening right now.
It's happening right now. And other diseases can emerge if the body
As a
tempo is
result,
weak.
yeah,
in certain
because-
areas,
yeah.
you'll show up as different diseases.
And it's so important for people to understand in this society of ours, what we need to do something about the isolations because it leads to mental and emotional stress
Yeah.
and actually mental and emotional trauma.
Yeah.
But the trauma has to be dealt with. It's not so much having a trauma, it's actually, you can go through a trauma of the pandemic. It's not what it is, it's what it is you do with it.
Right. How did you work through it?
As you process it.
Right.
But the way you process it, will determine what you do with your immune system and your nervous system.
Right.
Because you are your nervous system.
Right.
And your immune system is very important, especially with everything going so fast, with the information overload. You need a nervous system that is strong in order to survive all the changes, but you need an immune system that is strong. When the immune system and the nervous system when they have a loving relationship, you cannot have autoimmune disease.
Right. Yeah.
And you're protected from all the various kind of disorder that are out there.
Right.
But when that relationship is disturbed because of emotional stress,
Right.
coming from isolations,
Right.
that is not supervised,
Right.
or taken care of,
Right.
through a community,
Right.
or through loving support, is a big problem.
Or spiritual practice.
Yes.
Yeah, this is very important.
Yes. Spiritual practice is very important.
Yeah.
Actually, talking about spiritual practice, that's when the voice comes into it. Because when you vibrate the word, the sacred word, then allow you to express, become a form of emotional release.
Yeah.
There's an emotional release. Therefore, you take care of the emotions. If you take care of the emotions, you take care of the immune system,
Right.
and the nervous system.
Right.
Because when you're vibrating a sacred sound, or vibrating nam, or whatever you want to call it, you take care of the hypothalamus.
Right.
And the hypothalamus regulate the immune
Yes.
system and the emotions.
Right.
And so spiritual practice is necessary, but spiritual community is
Extremely important. I've said over the years that true, authentic spiritual community grants you immunity from the lower frequencies of life.
Oh, yeah.
Like when you come into Nam, you come into Agape, you come into the powerful spiritual communities, the vibration of the community, of the sound, the music, the hugs, the message, the vibration is lifted. And if people add spiritual practice to that, when they leave, then they have a new set point, a new norm that they're able to sustain. Because, 20, 30, 40 years ago, people weren't bombarded with all the stimuli that we're now bombarded with. We're bombarded with so much stimulation in a week that people weren't bombarded with in a whole year or 5 years. And so the system is overloaded.
It's overloaded.
So you have to have the voice. I mean, you have to have nutrition. Exercise.
Yes.
You have to actually curate a way of living that's going to make your internal power stronger than the external forces that are coming.
This is so true.
Yeah,
because it is such an amazing time we're living through.
Right.
And it is impossible to be comfortable in these times we're going, these complex times, without a strong spiritual practice,
right,
and a strong in a spiritual community.
Right.
These two are necessary because they are vital.
Right.
A spiritual community, a spiritual practice, take care of your spirit because you are spirit and body.
Yes.
Regardless of the desire to satisfy the mind and the physical body of all of the things, the joy that comes from gratification of desire, you still have to take care of the spirit.
Right.
And we have moved so far away from the heart, the soul, and the spirit, and it has to create a platform for all the ills of society.
Yeah.
Because the focus is been on the mind and the body and taking care of the body. But it's okay, but it's not enough.
No, right. I tell people that you take care of the body not for vanity.
Yeah.
You take care of the body so that it can hold more energy.
Yes.
So that you can deliver your gifts and your contribution to the world.
Yeah.
It's not just to look good.
Yeah.
It's to actually be able to hold more of the cosmic energy that's trying to flow through us. Now, obviously, this time, not only we talked about the fact that suicide rates are up.
Oh, yes.
Obesity is up. All manner of disease is up. Depression is up. That's like a common word now. Depression. Everybody has to take care of their mental health. That's like trending.
Yes.
You have the great athletes coming out now saying, well, I couldn't perform because I had a mental anguish or something to that effect. But going back to the sound of the voice, the voice can assist in the sound with depression.
Yeah, where the voice, when the voice combined with the breath and sacred sound comes in,
yes,
depression runs away so fast you can only see dust.
Okay.
Because when we combine,
I'm agreeing with you. I want people to understand that when you combine the voice with the sacred sounds and the breath, that
trinity,
that changes the whole dynamic of thought, emotions, and everything.
Right. Oh yes, because you cannot use just vibrate the divine power manifested through sound current. combined with breath, which is the two things you're given to you at birth.
At birth, yeah.
Your breath and your voice.
And your sound, yeah.
Yes. And they stay with you until you live.
Right.
When you combine both, when you bring the breath, you have rhythmic breath combined with vocalization, which is sacred sound. Because the only way you can take care of the mind, the yogis will tell you, nothing take care of the mind better than the sacred sound, because it's divine mathematics. Yeah. It's divine sound, it's divine mathematics, which allows you to bring order out of chaos. So when you combine the breath with...
I want to say that again.
Yeah.
Because your accent is good.
Yeah.
Brings order out of the chaos.
Yes.
That's what he said. Go ahead.
I love that French touch.
Yeah.
So when you combine your voice, your breath, rhythmic breath,
Yes.
and sacred sound,
Yes.
you cannot have depressions.
Right.
How does it do it? This is the formula.
Yes.
When you combine sacred sound, breath, and voice with rhythmic breath, what it will do, it will bring rhythm in your biology. The moment you have rhythm in your biology, it'll bring rhythm in your physiology as a human. When you take care of the physiology, then that takes care of your emotional life, which means that whatever emotion you're going through, your emotional life is taken care of. When you take care of your emotional life, then it takes care of your feelings. When your feelings are taken care of, then there is a vibrational, harmonious relationship between your heart and your brain through the vagus nerve, which means,
That's right.
Yeah, what happened is that the heart sends wonderful positive waves to the brain through the vagus nerves, which take care of, completely synchronize everything in the brain.
The parasympathetic system comes
Yeah,
into harmony.
the whole thing.
The whole thing, yeah.
And then it give you control of your frontal lobe, and as a result, you stop self-sabotaging yourself.
Yes.
You think right.
Yes.
You feel right.
Yes.
You speak right. You act right. And you have a positive attitude.
Right. Yeah. You're speaking of a couple of things.
Yes.
You know, one, I was reading a research study that showed that people who have chronic criminality,
Yes.
their frontal lobe
Yes.
is impaired.
Oh, yeah.
They cannot put gratification away. They cannot have long-term gratification. It has to be now.
Yeah.
And they don't care about the consequences. They can't learn that if you do this, this is the consequence, because the frontal lobe is not properly developed,
Yeah.
whether it's the womb,
Yeah.
nutrition,
Yes.
the environment. But with the rhythmic breath and the sound, that's not a forever thing.
Yeah.
That doesn't have to be like that forever.
Yes.
They can actually redevelop that part of their brain.
It will develop that part of the brain, because
Yes.
the difference between the Homo sapiens
Yes.
and the Homo sapiens sapiens. The Homo sapien is the man who knows. The Homo sapiens sapiens, who we are descended from, is the man who knows that he knows.
Right.
It's the frontal lobe.
Yes. Right. This is
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
You can actually think about what you think about.
Yes.
You can actually observe your own thinking
Yes.
and make a different choice.
Oh, yes, completely.
Yeah.
So when you develop the frontal lobe, it just stops impulsive behavior, but most importantly, you just move, you become effortlessly conscious
Yes.
of what it should do.
Yes.
And you make decisions that are aligned with light.
Right.
So you are living in a state of gratefulness,
Yes.
yeah, a state of divinity, and you're moving with life, with grace. You just flow through light, time and space with grace. So the frontal lobe it's that part of you that is connected to the light, and you can develop it to such a point that the light flows through it on a regular basis.
Now, imagine for a moment,
Yes.
instead of just warehousing people in the prison industrial system,
Oh my God.
that they actually went in and they did something wrong.
Yeah.
They have to put them away because they're a danger to themselves and
Yes,
the people.
completely.
But what if they sat in meditation
Yes.
and did pranayama or breath or the rhythmic breath, the one that I like with the feeds the vagus nerve is, maybe you're doing 4 breaths in, 6 breaths out, so
Yes.
that the vagus nerve
Yes.
starts to actually bring.
Activate, yeah.
Can you imagine?
They'll change.
And
Completely.
They'll be totally different.
Completely transformed. Because once you bring, it's the divine, now is divine power manifested through sound current. But the divine is auspicious.
Mm-hmm.
When you vibrate the divine, the tongue that vibrates the divine become auspicious.
Yes.
And the ears that hears become auspicious.
Yes.
And the heart as well become auspicious. They'll all be transformed through the power of the combination of a rhythmic breath,
Yes.
the voice, and sacred sound will do wonders.
Yes.
Wonders
Yes.
in those places. Wonders.
I know we would go into Terminal Island
Yes.
and go in with a lot of my practitioners
Yes. Yes.
and have workshops on a regular
Yes.
basis.
Yes.
And then we would see those people at Agape when they got out,
Yes.
changed.
Completely.
You know what I mean? They something happened.
Something
And they were
happens.
able to observe themselves
Yeah.
and make a different choice.
Yes.
But we combined what you're talking about.
Yes.
We had the voice,
The voice.
the affirmation,
Yeah, oh,
the
yes.
breath,
Yeah.
the prayer, the meditation, seeing themselves beyond their present condition, which if that's not developed,
Yeah.
you can't see yourself
No, you can't.
beyond the condition you're
No,
in.
you cannot. But it's just so beautiful that you guys are doing it because it is so needed. Maybe if more and more people do that, society will move away from the condition it's in.
Listen. What are the politicians started their Senate and congressional hearings
Oh my God.
with just 22 minutes of meditation and breath work before they started doing their work?
I would call it the super golden age.
They would start actually representing their constituents rather than their personal things that they want.
Yes,
They would actually start to think outside of their own selfishness.
Yes.
Oh my God, what a
Yes.
concept.
Yeah, because the heart will be involved, and when the heart is involved, light is involved.
Right. And we're not talking religion.
No, that's
We're
not.
talking
This is a
spirituality
exact-
and science.
Yeah, this is mathematical spirituality.
Right.
It's an exact science. It's based upon
Yogic science. It's
Yeah.
not the
it's based upon immutable laws.
Right.
And when it is applied, the result is like 2 + 2, you have 4.
right.
Is
Basically,
that beautiful?
yeah, absolutely. Speak on shifting one's perception of reality through metaphysical codes.
Yes.
When I say that to you, what does that mean for you?
You can actually not only shift your perception, but you even shift your self-image through, putting together words in certain ways. Yeah. The science of combining words can have such a massive impact upon us. Yeah. And of course, in mysticism, there are all these sacred word that you can do in order to shift to reality a certain way and everything else. But we have to be able to use high vibration word or speak in a way where we want to we should use words that define the reality we would love to experience.
Absolutely. Don't speak what you don't want to experience.
Yes. If you don't love your reality, then decide exactly which reality you would love to live in. Set it up as a goal which will become your new frequency.
Right.
That new frequency, all the word that you use should match that frequency.
Right.
And when your voice being your frequency, when your voice is used in that frequency to match the frequency of the reality that you would like to experience, that reality is yours effortlessly.
Right.
Because if you want the reality, if you have desire of something, the moment you tell the universe, I want this, it's already created for you.
Right.
It's already in the universe waiting for you.
Right.
But the problem is, I couldn't call it a problem, you have to receive that gift of yours based upon the law of vibrations.
Yes.
You can only attract based upon your vibrations.
Right.
And your vibration must match the reality of the gift that is already created for you
Right.
when you've asked for it.
Right.
So everything that we desire, everything we ask the universe for, the moment we ask for it, it's already created.
It's already there. Yeah.
It's there.
It's done.
It's done, and it is waiting.
For you to lift your vibration.
Yes.
To receive it.
All we have to do is to know, do you want to get it? Or what do you have to do? Lift up the vibrations to the frequency of what you want, and it is effortlessly yours.
Right. Right.
Now, if you speak with a frequency of doubt, negativity, you're pushing it away from you.
Yes.
It is still there waiting for you.
Yeah.
But it'll wait until you bring your vibration to that frequency. Whether you do it in this lifetime or another lifetime, that is your problem.
Right. That's your challenge. But here's the deal. I notice many people, I try to caution many people, they will complain about their condition, or they'll put a lot of energy into what they don't want. But they don't understand they're using the same law to vibrate with what they do not want.
Yes.
Because that's what they're talking about. I don't want this to happen. I don't want to live here. I don't want this experience. But that's the reality that they're creating.
Yeah.
So you're talking about matching your word and your frequency with what you do want.
Oh, yes.
Not vibrating with what you don't want.
Yes, because you can improve your self-image.
Yeah.
You can improve you can do so much because the universe has bestowed upon us immense power.
Yes.
That we're not even aware of.
No, we're cosmic beings and we think we're this little old nothing.
I know. We are made in the image and likeness of the great one.
Right.
The master of the universe.
Right.
That's number one.
Right.
And our daily interactions, the vibration that we put out every minute into the universe, we're not even aware that it's going to come back based upon the principle of causality.
Yes.
Which is Hermetic principles.
Yes.
The law of cause and effect always applies.
Which, by the way, I have your book right here. The psychotherapeutic application of Hermetic principles.
Yes.
And who is this by? Dr. Joseph Michael Levry. This is the new iteration of the Hermetic principles by the doctor here.
Yes.
And so we're breaking it for you right now.
Yes.
So synthesize it. I know obviously it's a lot, but synthesize this for us.
So it's
Since you brought it up.
Yeah.
In such a seamless, magnificent, and
Yes.
wonderful way.
We, as human beings, we are on a daily basis, we're dealing with the law of attractions. We're either attracting or pushing away. So whatever we do, we are always the law of attraction attraction is always involved. Whether you attract or repel,
Yes.
this is continuously going on in our lives.
Right.
Okay. So the vibration we put ourselves in, which is our mental attitude, and the word that comes out of our mouth, can be synchronized in a way as to cause the law of attraction to work for us. Because we have a vibrations that is vibration of our liking, because we would like to have a certain reality. We have so much power. And for example, the two words, I am this or I am that. There is so much power in the sacred word I am.
Yes.
And we have the power to choose what comes after it.
Yes.
And
I am is the deal. Everything else is commentary.
Yes, that's it.
But like you just said, what you put after that is going to determine your experience.
That's it. It's like what it is you put after I am is what's going to determine what it is you go through.
Right.
But it is so powerful. Once you choose what you want to put after I am, the moment you wake up in the morning, you decide what it is you want to put after I am. You turn your I am into your own personal phrase that become your own personal mantra.
Yes.
You know, whatever you want to be,
Yes.
you add it to the I am, and it becomes your daily mantra. You just keep doing it, saying it on a regular
Until it
basis.
becomes unconscious.
Until it becomes unconscious. Here you go. It just comes right back running onto you.
Yeah.
There is nothing that you will put after I am that's not going to run after you.
Yeah.
Just a matter of time.
This is a part of our training.
Yeah.
This is what we have to actually train ourselves, train the mind instead of just running amok.
Yes.
To actually be pinpoint with what we actually would like to experience and the gifts we would like to share in the world.
The harmonium healing system is tremendously beautiful because it's a way to, because you have a spiritual body and you have a physical body. Your spiritual body has a nervous system. We call it the autonomous nervous system. Your physical body has a nervous system. We call it the cerebrospinal nervous system. Harmonium healing, what it does, it just works on the spiritual body in order to bring a balance between the parasympathetic nervous system, which is ruled by the principle of sound, and the sympathetic nervous system, which is ruled by the principle of light. When it synchronizes both systems, the body moves into a space where it completely recharges and revitalizes and rejuvenates itself. So,
Sound and light.
yes, sound and light. It has such amazing, incredible. Now, by using breath, combining with a sacred practice, and then spending like a few minutes, which will pass. I'll just pass on to you for your listeners, and working with it just for a few minutes in the morning, it will cause you to absorb so much energy from so much pranic force from the universe, so that you can condense it in every cell of your body and then turn that light into use. And you can just go with your battery being recharged so that you don't deplete throughout the day
Right.
as you interact with people.
Right.
So,
And energy vampires.
Oh,
They try
yes.
to suck your energy.
No.
But this will protect you.
I know.
Yeah.
So the combination of Nam practice, Sukshma Vyayama, is just incredible. And then adding to it harmonium, it's
Well,
like
give us a minute. Give us 30 seconds to practice.
okay.
And obviously, there's way more I want to talk about.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to have you come back.
Yes.
We're gonna have to continue this conversation.
I would love
since
to come
since
back.
you threw it out there, give us a moment of practice.
Yes. All right. Let's do it together. Now, when you bring the hands this way, you bring your hands together, you interlace the middle and the ring finger.
The middle,
And the ring finger.
right, just like this.
Yes, that's it. And then the thumb come together, which is the divine world. The index finger come together, the Jupiter, and Mercury come together.
Pinkies. Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Okay. With this
This is a
posture,
powerful mudra.
yes, this allows you to wipe out chronic fatigue. Because normally with COVID and a lot of people have brain fogs and people who are tired on a regular basis and they need to recharge. This is an amazing practice in order to just revitalize the brain, take care of your body, and then keep you as young as you would love to be.
Yes.
Yes. The minute that we're going to spend together doing this, we're going to take 4 breaths in order to stimulate, the pituitary gland, and then we just exhale 1 breath
out.
So it's going to be one slow breath in engaging all the way the lower belly, which will stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system.
Yes.
Okay. So this is it. Because we are stronger when we exhale.
Yes.
Okay. So let's go. So eyes closed at your third eye, and then we go 4 breath, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then one long exhale in order to engage the parasympathetic nervous system. Let's go. Now you can take a deep breath, hold the breath, and exhale. Now we're going to stay in the same posture. I would like to do a second meditation to give a choice to our listeners, our viewers. The second meditation we take 4 breaths in, but this time we exhale through the mouth, pulling the navel in. Because this is our energy center, our umbilical cord, we just pull it in as we exhale through the mouth.
Okay.
What it will do is revitalize the brain, get rid of brain fatigue, and then take care of the blood. It gives you baby blood. Okay. So 4 breaths in the nose, and 1 breath out the mouth. Let's go. We push it out. Okay, let's go. Inhale through the nose. Hold the breath. And exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and just shake the hands. Beautiful. So this will fill you with so much energy.
Oh, yeah.
You will actually see the prana just spreading in every single cell of your body.
My hands got extremely
I know,
hot.
you will feel alive.
That was beautiful.
Yes, it's a joy.
So this is pure science,
Yes,
and you can see the immediate change of state.
yes,
And when you change your state,
yes.
you become available for the emergence of your next stage. This is Dr. Joseph Michael Levry. His latest contribution is the psychotherapeutic application of the Hermetic principles. You want to pick this? So they can get this Amazon anywhere the books are sold at this point. Endorsement by Michael Bernard Beckwith here in
Yes.
the back. Which is true.
Yes, yes,
Beautiful. And my friend Damien.
yes, yes.
Outstanding. So there you have it, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Take Back Your Mind. We'll have him back as a guest again because there's a lot more material we want to cover. And you can feel that he knows that he knows. Have a beautiful day. Welcome back. We just had a beautiful conversation with my brother, Dr. Joseph Michael Levry. If you want to know more about his book or how to be in contact with him, you can simply go to josephmichaellevry.com. That will open you up to see his books, his music, and the latest offerings that he has. So we're going to have a moment of meditation. You know, meditation is extremely important to our spiritual community. And inspired by Dr. Joseph, I'll lead you through a meditation that I do and that I teach people to do in order to come out of a sense of anxiety. It's the one, as we were talking about, this particular one that I'll teach, it helps to activate the vagus nerve, which eliminates anxiety and anxiousness. It's simply 4 breaths in and 6 breaths out. And yes, you can do that. You can do 4 in and 6 out. And it activates the vagus nerve so that anxiousness and anxiety dissipates. I'll show you, and then we'll practice it, and then we'll go into it. So it's like this. I'm counting. That's 4, and then 6 out. That's 6. So we're going to do that for a couple of moments and then settle into the sacred silence. Here we go. Now allow for your breath to just stabilize itself around your normal breathing pattern. And simply watch the breath with an intention for you to be free, liberated from that sense of separation, and to wake up to your glorious nature. Let the breath assume its own natural rhythm. You're witnessing it, which keeps you very present, and you have an intention to wake up to your glorious nature. Another moment of stillness, silence, solitude. We give thanks for this beautiful moment where we are giving permission for eternity to break into time as our very life and being. We allow for our life to be a blessing everywhere that we go, all that we think, all that we say, and all that we do today. We give thanks for this, and we allow it to be so. Now, as you open your eyes, I say to you, so be it, and so it is. Have a beautiful day. We'll see you soon. You've heard me say the old statement from time to time that an individual that's unwell, an individual that is sick, has only one dream. But an individual that's healthy has many dreams. I want you to be a healthy individual from the inside out. One of our sponsors is Neutralize, Neutralize.com, that carries Adaptogen. Adaptogen is my superfood greens with 47 different plant-based ingredients, adaptogens, plus probiotics, prebiotics, and digestive enzymes. One scoop is going to do you really well. Go to our sponsor, Neutralize.com, look under adaptogens, and get the bundle. Subscribe to the vitamin D3, K2, and the superfood greens. Your body's going to love you. You also have heard me say over the years that spiritual community grants you immunity from the lower frequencies of life. The other sponsor is Agape International Spiritual Center. We're in our 37th year. Go to agapelive.com. Notice that we have 3 services on Sunday. We have a university with classes. We have many different programs and ministries, all for the unfoldment of our soul to be the best version of ourselves. Those are our sponsors for now. Have a bright day. Your time is very valuable, so I want to thank you for lending us your ear and participating in taking back your mind. If you want to submit a question for the question of the week, please submit it to podcast@michaelbeckwith.com. If you've enjoyed what you've heard today, please submit a review and let us know your thoughts. Stay on top of current episodes by subscribing to the podcast so that you'll receive alerts and not miss one single episode. And feel free to share this podcast with all of your friends and family. And until we meet again, take back your mind, and you will take back your life.